Namaste, yogis. Welcome to your Friday early evening Hatha Flow. So, a little bit slower than Vinyasa, but definitely a little bit of movement, sensation, feelings, and body. It's Friday, if you're watching this live, and oftentimes at the end of the week, I like to make sure that I let go of all of those things that I absorbed throughout the week, just to kind of let those kind of go. So that's why I like a little bit of movement through the end of the week, especially in the evening time. It gives me a sense of completion, like my week has been full, it's been whatever it is, it was exactly what it needed to be to make sure that I made it here today. And this practice is all about creating the openness and the availability for the rest of my weekend, right? So I kind of like let go of the past, prepare the foundation for the rest of my weekend. So we're just going to do that. Nothing is fast today, but a lot of mindful movement. So subtle awareness, and if there's any point throughout the practice where you're feeling fatigue or tired, you just stop. You either sit, you come into child's pose, or any restorative posture that works for you. And then when you're ready, you just kind of step up and find out where we are. And that's always okay. I don't need you to do exactly the same thing that I'm doing. I don't even need you to do every single asana. It may just not be available for you today. That's okay too. So we're gonna we're gonna move very. Keep in mind that our asana is a tool. So nothing really super complex today, but a lot of fluidity. So the breath pattern is going to move the body. It's going to kind of support where you are. And then you'll create this relationship, and then the practice kind of evolves with you. So let's stand on up, come to the front of your mat. Hands come together at the heart. Bring your awareness to the bottoms of the feet as you soften just a little bit here through the jaw, the face, the forehead. And then we're just going to move a little bit. Inhale, arms reach up. Lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands come through heart center, fold forward. Flat back, a little bit of bending in the knees to allow the hamstrings to feel the connection of the glutes. Tuck your chin like you're giving yourself a double chin and start to bring the belly towards the thighs. Inhale, come halfway up, knees straighten, back flattens, lift the heart, chin and chest, kind of like you're looking for the horizon. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, walk all the way back, top of a push-up. Push through the heels, tuck the tailbone, lower to your knees, and slowly lower the chest, the chin, the forehead, and then soften all the way down. Squeeze your legs together, point your toes, press through your feet, hips, and hands, and start to lift the chin and chest until you feel enough. And that could be triceps, it could be lower back, it could be mid-spine. And then exhale, lower all the way down, soften for a breath. Come on into table. Belly drops, lift the heart, lift the chin and chest, cow pose. Exhale, round through upper back, middle back, low back, cat pose. Inhale again, belly drops, lift the heart, chin and chest. Exhale, round and squeeze, tuck the chin, roll over your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, down dog. Spread the fingertips nice and wide, full extension of the arms and shoulders. The spine is really nice and long. The belly's coming towards the thighs. If you're feeling a lot of sensation in the hamstrings and you can't get your back straight, just bend the knees a little. Shake your head yes and no as you start to soften through the neck. One more deep full breath here in your down dog. You can even pedal feet and knees, so inviting one heel towards the earth and then the other heel towards the earth. You can do that a few times. And then just walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, come halfway up as you flatten through your back. Exhale, fold forward. Tuck your chin, soften. A round of breaths here, a little inversion. Inhale, slowly come all the way up. Arms reach up, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Right hand grabs left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. Little gaze underneath the left arm. None of this stuff is super vigorous, and none of it is trying to fix anything. Inhale back to center. Left hand grabs right wrist. Exhale, side bend to the left. A moment or two. None of this stuff is going to rush us through in and out, so we're just going to take our time. Back to center, arms reach up. If you feel like you need a little back bend, go right ahead. Hands come through center, little bend in the knees, fold forward, belly towards the thighs, release your arms, tuck your chin. Inhale, halfway, flatten and lengthen, lift the heart, chin, and chest. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, walk or step, top of a push-up. You can do the same thing we did last time, knees, floor, cobra, or you can lower halfway down, up dog. I'm going to give you lots of options as we move through them. You make the adjustments in a way that support the body. Once again, you can drop to the knees to table through cat-cow, or you can skip it. Go right into down dog. So you got a couple breaths in table pose or a couple breaths in down dog. You can find movement or stillness. If you find a spot or a sensation in the body that needs attention, explore it, get to know it, soften to it until you've had enough there. And then however you want to get your feet to your hands, you can walk, you can step, or you can float. Inhale, halfway up, get some space in the spine. Exhale, fold forward, tuck the chin, release the head. Inhale, come all the way up, arms reach up. Right hand finds right hip. Exhale, side bend to the right. So little variation each time we do this sun salutation. Inhale back to center, palms press. Left hand finds left hip. Exhale, side bend to the left. Breathe into the right ribs. Find the extension and length through right arm. Inhale, arms reach up. This is like a little bit of a moving meditation. Exhale, hands through heart center. Strong belly, flat back, a little bend in the knees. Release your arms, tuck your chin and soften. Inhale, halfway, flatten, lengthen. Exhale, bend, plant, walk, step, or float, top of a push-up. Maybe throw a yogi push-up in or two if you feel like you need a little bit of power today. Or knees, floor, cobra, or maybe up dog. If your up dog or cobra's feeling good, you can stay there for a moment or two. You can pause into table for cat-cow. You can roll right over the toes and lift the hips into down dog. Or you can drop the knees and slide into child's pose. There was a moment there where I almost sounded like I was from Alabama. I felt like I had a southern drawl. If you're feeling like you need to step back into down dog, well, go right ahead. Maybe that was Arkansas. I'm not sure. All right. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Bend the knees, walk, step, or float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. I wasn't planning on doing any imitations today. I'm not sure where that came from. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Lift the chin, lift the chest. Exhale, interlace your fingers. Swivel your palms up. Squeeze the biceps towards the ears. And then drift your arms to the right. So another variation of a side bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Unfold your fingers. Back bend if you need it. Hands come through heart. Fold forward. Release your arms. Tuck your chin and soften. Inhale, halfway, flatten and lengthen. Exhale, bend, plant, walk, step, or float. Yogi's choice again. Whatever is working, you can do halfway down and hold. You can do a few push-ups, up dog, cobra. The movement supports the body, so take care of yourself. Down dog, child's pose, or table pose. 3 of the deepest, fullest breaths you have taken in the last couple days. Find your body. Where is your mind? What do you need to support yourself? Walk, step, float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Rotate your palms towards the front of the mat. All right. Bend those knees just a little bit. I don't want a huge seated chair pose. Not yet, at least. If you let your body tell you it needs more. So a little bend in the knees. Before you do anything with your arms, draw that tailbone under. Tuck the tailbone as you draw the belly in. Now, draw the shoulders back up over the hips. Extend your arms out in front of you, and then slowly just kind of draw those hands up. If you're not feeling enough in your quadriceps, by all means, sink lower. The weight's in the heels, you're softening the toes, and you're really strong through belly. So it's that tucking of the tailbone. See if you can keep drawing your shoulders down and away from the ears. Draw your chin back. One deep, full breath. Inhale, knees straighten, arms reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center, fold forward, tuck your chin, release your head. Inhale, halfway up, flatten and lengthen. Exhale, bend, plant, walk, step, float, and through any movement that works for you. Keep in mind that you don't need to do a chaturanga. You can always slide right into down dog. So whatever it is, make sure that you support yourself. In down dog, right leg lifts on up. Keep the right knee straight. Lift the heel towards the ceiling, but invite your left heel towards the floor. Draw your right knee towards your belly and chest. See if you can kiss the knee, and then step your right foot forward. Check out your back foot between your arms. Scoot it a little to the left, and then swivel your back foot so it grounds down. So your right heel is meeting with your left heel in alignment. Your left toes are pointing towards the front left corner of your mat. So your foot looks like almost in 45 degrees. The right knee's bent, and you're going to slowly lift your arms on up. So the palms are facing one another, the pinkies are forward, the thumbs are back, the shoulders are in their sockets, and they're reaching up. The ribs and the belly draw in, the tailbone tucks. You'll feel it in the top of the left hip flexor. Push down and through the outside of the left foot. The right toes and right knee is straight ahead, but the knee doesn't pass the ankle. The shoulders square to the front of your mat. Lift the chin, lift the gaze. Now soften all 10 toes. And then exhale, hands come all the way down and plant, right foot steps back. Your choice of movement. So if you want we want like 30 push-ups, go right ahead. Up dog, down dog, or child's pose. 2 breaths. So in these kind of movement practices, down dog is considered a restorative posture. You'll get used to it. Left leg lifts on up. Left knee is straight. Heel is pushing towards the ceiling. Invite your right heel towards the floor. Long, strong with the arms, and then bring that left knee towards the belly, the chest, and then the chin. See if you can kiss the knee. Really softly, left foot steps forward. Look between your arms, scoot your right foot out to the right a little, swivel and ground down. Get those toes facing a little bit farther forward. Left knee is bent, arms come on up. All right, and then settle in here. So as you draw your right hip forward, the right heel draws back a little. The hips won't be square, but they're trying to. Now you sometimes have a curvature in the back, so you're going to tuck that tailbone and draw the belly in. It'll show in this right hip flexor. Left knee is bent, doesn't pass the ankle. If it does, scoot your foot farther forward or bend less. Shoulders are square to the mat, front of the mat. Arms are reaching up. Lift the gaze, lift the chin and chest. Breathe. All right, exhale, hands down, right foot steps forward. Maybe the big toes touch if that's comfortable. Inhale, come halfway up, get a little bit of space here in the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees enough where you start to feel it in the quadriceps. And then you're going to lift the heart up as the shoulders try to get over the hips. Ribs and belly draw in. Arms extend either out in front of you or up. Bring the weight to the heels. Lift the gaze. Utkatasana, seated chair pose. Hands to heart center. Straighten the knees. Swivel your palms towards the front of the mat. Shake it out. Let's do it one more time. Now you can go deeper if you need it. So you have a good sense of where your quadriceps are and you're feeling where the power is. So if you want more, do more. If you want less, do less. Knees bend. Ribs and belly draw in. Tuck the tailbone. Arms reach up until your shoulders feel like it's enough. Lift the gaze. Relax the jaw. I'm not going to rush this. And I find that Utkatasana, seated chair pose, is one that challenges us. Right? We're used to moving, so finding a little stillness here with the legs working can be quite challenging. Inhale, knees straighten, arms reach up, lift the gaze, back bend if you need it. Hands come through heart center, fold forward. Release your arms, tuck your chin. Inhale, come halfway up, flatten. Exhale, bend, plant, walk, step or float. Yogi's choice. Through movement, knees, floor, cobra, or halfway down, up dog. Table pose or down dog. 2 breaths. All right, right heel towards the ceiling as you straighten the right knee. Exhale, knee towards the belly, then the chest, and then the chin. Step the right foot forward, swivel your back foot. Warrior 1, arms reach up. Let's add a little here. Elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. And then interlace your fingers behind your back as you squeeze shoulder blades, straighten the elbows. Lift the heart, chin and chest. Maybe the arms drift off the lower back. If you still need a little bit more, you can come forward so belly hovers over the right thigh. One more deep, full breath. Exhale, release your hands. They come all the way down. Right foot steps back. Yogi's choice again. Maybe right into down dog. Maybe movement, right? One deep full breath. left heel towards the ceiling, left knee towards the chest. Softly step the left foot forward, swivel your back foot. Virabhadrasana 1, arms reach up. Let's do the same thing. Elbows bend, hands and elbows draw back. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Maybe the opposite thumb comes on top. Squeeze the shoulder blades, straighten the elbows, lift the heart. Hinge at the waist. If you need it, arms come off the lower back for a little bit more. Big inhale, slow exhale. All right, hands come all the way down. Right foot steps forward. Inhale halfway up as you flatten and lengthen. Exhale, fold, tuck the chin. One more seated chair pose. Bend the knees, drop the seat. Utkatasana. Relax the jaw. Ease the breath. Hands to heart center. Straighten the knees. Rotate the palms towards the front of the room. Shake it out. So that's sun salutation A and B. Should have a pretty good sense of where we are energetically, where we are physically. And then we'll start to actually add some variation within practice. And the idea of the variation is just to keep the mind here now. So you're kind of like, where am I going next? What's going on? Where is the sensation? So some of the complexities is there so you can pay attention to what's going on with the body. So let's see if we can find a little bit more. So bend the knees, drop the seat. Take the hands to heart center, and let's twist to the right. So take your left elbow and bring it over your right thigh. You can stack the hands, wrists, and elbows. You can even draw the belly in so you have a little bit of a twist here. Gaze is over your right shoulder, and you can drop your hips lower if you'd like, maybe keep it up higher. And then you're going to bring the weight to your right foot, and you're going to lift your left foot off the ground, and you're going to step it all the way back. So now we're in this twist, but that left foot is behind us. So we're going to push down through the right heel. We're going to keep the twist, and this is all balancing challenge. Push down through your right foot. Start to lift the torso on up. Keep the hands to heart center. And then slide this right hand behind your back and reach your left arm up and over that left ear. On your exhalation, take both hands down around your right foot. The nose comes towards your knee. The weight comes into your right foot as you take your left toes up off the ground. So this is standing splits. Hands could be floor, they could be ankle or shin, they could be on blocks. It doesn't matter where the hands are. They could even be on like a table or something. So whatever variation's working, go right ahead. Now we're going to move into half moon. So right hand comes right underneath the nose, maybe in alignment with the right foot. And then externally rotate your left thigh, draw your left shoulder back, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. So trying to stack shoulders, trying to stack hips. If your balance is there, you can look up towards the ceiling. All right, right knee bends a little, left foot steps all the way back. Warrior 2. Let's straighten the right knee for a moment. That'll give our right quadricep a moment here. Swivel your palms up and down. Take your left arm underneath your right arm. And left hand grabs right wrist or palm. So eagle arms. Now from here, you're going to swivel your elbows towards the front of your mat. And then you're going to bend your right knee a little. So warrior 2 legs, eagle arms. 4 more. You can come forward and maybe down. You can stop at any point where it feels like it's enough. Arms, legs, hips, feet. Give yourself a breath or two. We're not rushing. This is hatha. This is not vinyasa. So we get into a pose, we breathe and feel it. And this is intimacy.
Hatha is a practice of balance, the balance of pushing and coasting. If you're hinging forward, come on up, unwind your arms, swivel your palms up and down, and move your shoulders with them a bit. Reverse warrior. So as you sink low into your right knee, reach your right arm up and over your right ear until you feel enough in the right ribs. The left hand can dangle, you can find the hip, or it can slide behind the back. So whatever variation with that left arm's working for you today, do that. Your right knee is pushing out towards pinky toe. You may feel it in that right groin. The gaze underneath the right tricep or down to your left big toe. One more deep full breath. All right, take your right forearm to your right knee. Swivel your right palm up. Slide that left arm over your left ear. Now I got a lot of options for you here. Since we're here for maybe 5 rounds of breath, you can stay just like this, and then I'm going to give you some options. You can do any variation of them. So the right hand could come down to block or floor. If your left shoulder drops, that may be an indication that you need to come back on up. Left elbow can bend, back of the hand can find the lower back, or maybe the top of this right thigh as you draw the left shoulder back. If your right hand's to the floor, you could find the bind. So that's the crease of the right elbow underneath the right knee, and search for the fingers. One more deep full breath wherever you find yourself. Exhale, let everything go. Hands surround your right foot. Roll onto your left toes and scoot your left foot forward about 3 or 4 inches. And then try to straighten your right knee. So sensation in the right hamstring. Soften or press the belly chest towards the right thigh. And you can bend and straighten the right knee to get a sense of that sensation. Once you find that spot that's just right, see if you can square your hips to the front of the mat. So right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. This is all the back of the right leg. All right. Bend the right knee just a little. Step your left foot back a little. Let's go into pigeon on the right side. So take your right foot, get it in alignment with your left leg. Maybe the right heel is somewhere around the left hip bone. You can start there. Get long through the torso, square the hip bones towards the floor. And then if you need more, you can scoot your right shin forward and square the hips again. This may be plenty, like a long torso. Like I feel it in my right hip here for sure. If you go like halfway down, it kind of disappears, and then you go even farther down, it shows up in a different spot. So find the spot, the variation of the asana it's giving you the sensation you need, which may mean that it's really intense in the right hip, or it may mean it's subtle. I'm okay with both. So keep in mind, we're not trying to fix the body, but we're just trying to bring awareness to the sensation, where the sensation roots from, and how do I respond to the sensation. All these different variations, we could work on all of them, some of them, or none of them. So one of the things that we do in your yoga practice is ujjayi breathing, where we close the throat down in the inhalation and exhalation, narrows that focus. It's a very powerful part of practice. But in my morning or evening practice, sometimes I don't use the breath. I just need movement. So just knowing that there are variations within the practice. All right, so if your torso is towards the floor, slowly bring yourself on up. Left knee bends mindfully. This is going to be maybe really intense on the quadricep. Left hand reaches back for left foot ankle or shin. If it's too much, you can drop to your right hip and then see if you can reach it. And then it's heel towards hip until you feel enough sensation. So once again, we're giving ourselves a little time to kind of find the edge and then back off a smidge, right? I don't need you to be like stuck to the edge, gritting your teeth and trying to hold it. I'd rather you find the edge and go, whoa, that's intense. Let me back off a smidge. Let me soften. From that point, you may be like, well, maybe I'll go a smidge more. I don't know if your voice will go that high. Maybe I'll do a little bit more. Maybe your voice is just deep all the time. Maybe I'll do a little bit more. So for me, I always tell by my voice what's going on. Oh man, that's intense. I'm not sure what's going on with the voices today. These are the voices in my head that come out. All right, exhale, let it go. Come to your right hip. It's Friday. Sweep this left leg all the way around. Left ankle as high as you can get it on the right thigh. Left foot is pressing down. I should call Friday like Crazy Flow Friday. Left hand to the floor by the hip. 3 options with the right hand. Right hand on the knee, twist to the left. Crease of the right elbow around the knee, twist to the left. Right elbow over knee or thigh, twist to the left. So it doesn't matter to me which one you do. You can try them all. They each have their own sensations that may be different. You can kind of play with them. What I'm really wanting you to kind of bring your awareness to is the belly. I want to like wring out the vital organs. So draw the belly in, try to move the belly button opposite side of the left thigh. Everything else is just like kind of a bonus. One more deep full breath here. Awesome. Come back to center, hands behind you, lean back, extend your legs. Give them a shake. Little tap of the thighs, maybe taps of the hips, lower back. Maybe massage your knees, and then roll the ankles, wiggle the feet and toes. And then you're going to separate the legs. We're going to come into Malasana, Yogi Squat. So feet are about hips distance apart. Heels are up or down. I've had a lot of questions recently about Malasana. If your heels can't get down to the floor, your hips just may be tight, and there's nothing wrong with that. You could go wider. Some people find that a wider stance is easier for them to get down. The toes roll out, though. That'll be a little bit easier on the knees. The hands can be on the floor if you're feeling like you can't be steady, or the hands come to heart center. The elbows can be inside of the knees as you press them out for a sensation in the groins, or on top of the knees as you lengthen through torso. About 5 breaths here. I'm going to give you some options. You can stay right here as you tuck the chin and close the eyes. You can move a little bit so you kind of sway around, like making circles with the hips. And you can add a little twist as well, so you can drop one shoulder inside the knees. You twist one direction, and then maybe the other direction. Just, once again, checking out. I just realized my lower left side of my back needs a little bit of attention. It's a little bit tighter than the right side. So give yourself 2 more breaths wherever you are. If you're ambitious, you're more than welcome to do crow pose, hands down, and lift the feet up off the ground if you need it. Right? Sometimes crow pose is a little bit vigorous, and if you need vigorous practice, go right ahead. One more deep full breath. If you are in your arm balance into crow pose, stay there as long as you like. So sometimes when you get into it, you're like, oh, this feels great. Stay there, and you just meet up with us when you can. Hands down, tuck your chin, start to straighten the knees, lift your hips, swivel your heels out, a little bit of a wide leg forward fold, bend right knee, then left knee as you sway the hips. Tuck your chin, soften the arms, and then start to heel toe your feet a little closer towards one another. And then bend the knees, drop the seat. Once again, Utkatasana, seated chair pose. Hands come to heart center. We're just going to do everything on the other side now. So take your right elbow, bring it on the outside of that left thigh, and you can always do this adjustment to get into it. And then you can bend and straighten the knees, get yourself settled in. And once again, it's a little bit of a twist through the belly. And then you're going to bring the weight to your left foot. This is not a fast movement. It's all about balance. You're going to bring the right foot off the ground and then step it gracefully all the way back. So that's not a fast move. Belly draws in, push through your right heel, and you're going to slowly lift the torso, keep the hands to heart center, and keep the twist. All right, left hand slides behind the back, right arm reaches up and over that right ear. You can sink more into the left knee if you feel like you need it. Gaze for the right heel underneath the left shoulder. And let's take both hands down around the left foot. Nose comes towards the knee. The weight comes to the left foot. Come onto your right toes and then lift that right foot up off the ground. So standing splits. Left leg is lifting. I'm sorry, right leg is lifting. Hands can be on blocks. Sometimes it's a nice way to kind of hang on here, or table. Maybe if you have twins, you can have these kids here, or a big dog. All right, so you're going to externally rotate your right thigh, so your right toes swivel out to the right. Left hand comes in alignment with your left foot underneath your left shoulder. Twist and open, right arm reaches up. Half moon, trying to stack the hips. You can gaze over that right thumb if the balance is there. Right leg can lift as high as you like. And then we're going to slide into warrior two. So left knee bends, right foot steps all the way back. And then we're going to straighten that left knee because we've been working that left leg. All right, right arm underneath left arm. Right hand grabs left wrist or palm. If you can't get here in eagle arms, keep the hands to the shoulders. Elbows are up, shoulders are down. If you have eagle arms, they come away from the face. Swivel your elbows towards the front of your mat. Bend your left knee. So warrior two legs. Once again, this may be plenty. Options. Elbows come a little forward, away from the chest, and then you can hinge at the waist. Once again, you can stop at any point where it feels like it's enough. You're going to continually draw the shoulders away from the ears, and you're going to try to soften as much as you can. Legs are working, arms are working. Find the breath. Are you moving in a way that supports your body? If you're doing too much, do less. If you're not doing enough, do a little bit more. If you are hinging forward, slowly come on up. Unwind your arms back to warrior two. Swivel your palms up and down. Move your shoulders with the arms or with the hands. And then slide into reverse warrior. Left arm reaches up and over. You can sink low into the left knee as you reach your left arm towards the back of the room. Right hand can be on the hip, behind the back, down the leg. The gaze can be towards the right toe or underneath that left elbow or tricep. One more deep full breath. Exhale. Left forearm to left knee or palm. The left hand stays awake. There's a tendency for us to do this. All right, so let's flip it up. You can always do a mudra if you'd like with the hand. Right hand could be on the hip. It could be up to the sky. Could slide over the right ear. So I'll give you a lot of options here. So you may be able to do something on one side, and maybe you can't do it on this side, and that's okay. Left hand could come to the floor or a block. If that right shoulder drops, maybe a little too much. Right hand, again, could be on the hip or behind the back, maybe the top of the left thigh. Maybe this is enough. The bind is crease of the left elbow underneath the crease of the left knee. Right shoulder is drawn back, gaze is up towards the ceiling, right hip is drawn back. Find that breath, smooth it out. Do less if you need it. And if you need a little bit more, just do a smidge more. Make sure that you're not going past your edge. All right, everybody, unwind the arms, hands around the left foot, roll onto your right toes. Scoot your right foot forward just maybe like 3 or 4 inches. And then you're going to try to straighten that left knee. You may not get it straight, that's okay. Soften or press the belly chest towards the left thigh. Square in the hips to the front of the mat. Soften. Breathe. Micro adjust, bending and straightening the left knee, making the adjustment with the legs, making sure that sensation is what you need. All right. Bend the left knee, hands plant down, right foot steps back a little. We're going into pigeon left side. So left foot draws back towards this right hip so you can lay the shin down. And then drop your right knee, point your right toes. So I don't need your left shin parallel to the front of your mat, but you are moving it forward until you feel like it's enough. But the key is these hip bones, like the front of the pelvis, I want them square to the floor. And if you can't square them, then you may be doing too much with that front leg. All right. So make sure your knees, your ankles, and your feet are all taken care of. The spine is long. You're micro adjusting the hips from side to side. Lower either block to the blocks or to the floor, or maybe the chest comes all the way down. I found out from this morning's class, my left hip super tight today. And if you may not know, we're expecting a baby like there was a due date was a couple days ago. So we're past our due date. So any moment we're going to be having a baby. So I can feel the anxiety and the stress of just waiting within my hips and my neck and shoulders. So my practice is like, I've been really noisy in my practice. I've been like, oh God, oh, as you probably could tell. So the body's feeling that emotional stuff that I'm creating. So for me to go flat on my belly right now, just too much for the hips. So I'm here, and keep in mind that every single time we come to our mat, we may find something that's different. So know that we want to stay as flexible in the mind so we're not over judging our quote unquote performance in our practice. This is not about performance. It's not about a workout. It's all about what do I need for my practice. All right, hands under shoulders, lift yourself on up. Right knee bends mindfully. Right hand reaches back. Play around a little bit. Heel towards hip. If this is too much, drop to your left hip. Try it again. And breathe. Some time and some space here for this right hip flexor, right quadricep. Still a hip opener on that left side as well. So we're still pressing and feeling. So very complex pose here. 2 more breaths. At least here in Ann Arbor, it is getting pretty nice as in temperature-wise. It's warm. I personally like a very warm practice. I personally would like 80 is a great temperature for me to practice. It's warm. It's not super hot. A little humidity never hurt me. A little bit of sweating. All right, right foot, let's go. Come to your left hip. Take your right leg, sweep it all the way around. Right foot's finding the floor. The ankle is as high as you can get it on the left thigh. You're getting tall with the torso. You can help yourself twist by taking the shirt out to the right. The belly rotates. Maybe externally rotate the thigh. And then once you're set up, right hand comes to the floor to support the spine. So get tall, thinking space within the belly. And then once again, you got 3 options with this left arm. Left hand to right knee, twist to the right. Crease of the left elbow around the right knee, twist to the right. Left elbow over the right knee as high as you can get it on right thigh, twist to the right. Through inhalation, lengthen. Through exhalation, draw your belly in and twist a little bit more. One more deep full breath. Nice work. Back to center. Hands behind you. Lean back. Extend your legs. Give them a shake. Let's go into boat pose. So move the flesh from under your sit bones as you root down. Bend the knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Take your hands to your hamstrings and then lean back. Keep your toes on so you can balance and then flex your feet. Now, the rest is up to you. You can straighten, you can bend, you can take the hands to the floor, the hands behind you, extend the arms out in front of you. And you can move also. You can twist to the left, twist to the right. You can bend and straighten knees like you're pedaling a bicycle. You could lower halfway down and up. So let's give ourselves like 5 rounds of breath. And once again, you could be still as well. So whatever is working for you today. So if you want to strengthen the belly, you're going up and down. If you want to get your obliques, maybe you're twisting. Maybe you're reaching for the toes. And when you are ready, lower all the way to the floor and scoot yourself to the middle of your mat. Draw your right knee towards your belly. Give it a little squeeze. Drop your right knee to the left. Spinal twist. Arms can open up. Chin can drop towards the right shoulder. Big inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. A moment here just to wring out the weak lower back, mid-back, belly, opening up through the heart, fronts of the shoulders, chest. Feel the weight of the body. And a little bit of gratitude. We are all so very lucky to have access to these amazing bodies with our intellect, our wisdom. During these times of uncertainty, this is where we thrive. This is where our practice comes into play. It's like what they say is when the rubber hits the road, now is the time when we really implement the practice. Come back to center, switch your legs, left knee towards belly, chest, give it a squeeze, and then mindfully, left knee drops to the right, arms open up. This is the thing about the external world. Like anybody, and I mean anybody, can practice yoga. Anybody can sit mindfully in a quiet room when everything is perfect. Right? Bills are paid, everybody's healthy, you got your routine down, you're comfortable. That's easy peasy practice, sitting and moving. Right? Try to practice and sit when your finances are not in alignment or you're having a health issue. That's when we need our practice. And that's when it really shows up for us. Come back to center, take both knees towards the belly, chest, a little squeeze, movement from side to side, and let's go into a bridge pose. So feet to the floor, hips distance, press through your feet, lift your lower back, upper back, mid back. Palms swivel up. Maybe you can interlace the fingers as you press your your triceps into the ground. Draw your chin towards your chest. If you're wanting to straighten one knee, bring your feet a little closer towards one another and then straighten the knee. Maybe your thighs are parallel, or you can lift the leg up towards the ceiling. There are 2 different asanas. Keep the arms pressing into the floor. When you're ready, you can switch legs. And straighten one knee, maybe lift up towards the ceiling. Hips are lifting, arms are working. If one of your legs are lifted, bring it back down. Lift the hips up a smidge more. One more breath. Release your hands, slowly lower the hips all the way down. And then windshield wiper your legs side to soften the lower back. When you're ready, knees towards belly, chest. If you're needing a little bit more, happy baby. Both arms reach in between the legs as you grab bottoms of the feet, ankles over knees, separate the feet as wide as you can, and play a little by straightening and bending one knee and the other knee. Feet in and out. Maybe massage your feet, crack your toes. Oh, yeah. All right. And then lift the feet up towards the ceiling. Arms can find any position that's comfortable. Toes, shins, ankles, hamstrings, maybe underneath the hips or over your head. Wiggle your toes, roll your ankles, and then slowly lower the legs down. Heels are going to find the corners of your mat as you soften into your last resting pose, Shavasana. You can use your blankets, your pillows, blocks, any way that supports the body. If you externally rotate your thighs and let your feet drop open, you'll get a little bit of openness in the lower back. You can also squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another and let them slide down towards the hips, and that'll open up the fronts of the shoulders, chest, and maybe a little bit of length in the neck. Palms can swivel up or left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Tuck the chin, close your eyes, and drop your gaze inward. Take a nice big inhale through your nose, exhale out your mouth. Soften toes, fingers. Soften calves and forearms. Relax the thighs, the biceps, and the shoulders and the hips. So the arms and the legs are very relaxed, very soft. The arms and the legs, they work all day long. Give them a chance to just take a little vacation. Relax the belly. The vital organs kind of like fall into place now that they're detoxified, healthy and strong. Feel the beating of the heart as we gave that fresh oxygen blood to the heart to pump through the body. Soften the jaw, the tongue and the mouth. Maybe the eyes float in their sockets as you relax your forehead. Our body can work very efficiently without us knowing exactly what it's doing. So allow the body to be free. Allow the mind to be free. It's the mind that sometimes gets in the way. So keep that mind occupied by the senses around you in this moment. Sounds of the birds, maybe the humidity in the air, how your clothes feel hanging on your body, and that subtle inhalation and exhalation. And for the next few minutes here, let this vibration of the gong allow any of the energetic pattern that does not support you just melt away.
As you bring your awareness to your surroundings, and gently allow the breath to deepen and start to awaken your new body by gently wiggling your toes, rolling your ankles, and then brushing your thumbs over your fingertips and rolling your wrists. Moving the arms and legs and maybe dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. And then gently extend your arms over your head. Stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. Get really nice and long. On the exhalation, draw the knees towards the belly as you wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself a hug. Loving kindness, filling the heart with gratitude. Right arm reaches up over your head and roll to your right side. Give yourself a moment here to feel every sensation within the body, even those sensations that may be uncomfortable. Bring your awareness to this moment, to the space around you and this body that we have. We are very lucky to have access to these bodies on this beautiful afternoon or evening. The evening is ours. What we do with it is up to us. So make sure that we're taking care of our needs, maybe celebrating, maybe laughing, eating good food, finding connection. Make this evening perfect. Because you deserve it. Softly pressing your hands into the floor, bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. And with a nice long spine, tuck your chin. Bring the hands together, represents our connection to all things. And then allow the thumbs to touch the heart. Grateful for our compassion, our empathy, and our unbounding love for all people, for all things. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. I will not let this human experience go to waste. Thank you guys so much for sharing your practice, your presence, your power, and namaste. Nice work, yogis.